sending a clear message to the Board of Trustees, and that message was, it's time for a deaf president now.
The peaceful rally that continued from Tuesday to Sunday took a drastic turn when it became a protest. At the front line of this movement were four determined and skillful young people: Greg Leibach, Tim Raris, Brigitta Bourne, and Jerry Covell. Today, we want to let them guide us through the events of this week of protest.
One of the four team leaders, Tim Raris, will describe for us the events of that Sunday night, March 6th, when the Board of Trustees made its announcement that they had chosen a hearing woman as the 7th president.
The pictures will tell the story better than words could describe it.
I want to talk about our first rally. A crowd of about 1,000 to 2,000 deaf people were screaming in support of a deaf president. There had never been one in 124 years. The Board of Trustees claimed they were acting in Gallaudet University's best interest, but many of the people didn't believe that and didn't trust them. I had been feeling positive, and I was unprepared for the worst because I thought the board would act in the best interest of Gallaudet University. Then on Sunday, the moment drew nearer. At about 7:15 or 7:30, the members of the Board of Trustees made their announcement. It was like we'd been punched right in the face. We couldn't believe that Zinzer had been chosen as our 7th hearing president. It couldn't be true. Our spirits sank. Obviously, they didn't understand how we felt. But then we started really getting angry.
We picked Dr. Elizabeth Ann Zinzer as the 7th president of Gallaudet. No! Because she is a very talented educator.
The board has chosen a hearing president, preventing deaf people from getting what they want. They want to bring deaf people down. When deaf people prepare to succeed, hearing people bring them down.
They're still afraid that deaf people can't do it. That's what I believe. They're afraid.
We will get the information out that this is the greatest insult to deaf people of America. 26 million of them, and they are disgusted. No question about it. And I do not intend to sit back. We'll have an organizational meeting tonight to discuss what we will do about it. This shows that we are not the ones who are really deaf, but it is they, the board, who are deaf.
I feel like this is a nightmare. I can't imagine that Gallaudet University Board of Trustees would have chosen a hearing president, especially after our support at the Deaf President Now rally.
This is the end of the deaf world. The end of the deaf world. Incredible. The students on Monday morning actually took control of the campus. They locked all the gates all around. Some of the administrators and some other people couldn't get onto campus. They had to stay out. That forced the Board of Trustees to come here to meet with some of the students, faculty, and staff. That's when we presented our 4 demands. The first one was that Zinzer resign and a deaf president be selected. The second one was that the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Spillman, resign. Third, there would be a 51% majority of deaf members on the board. And fourth, that there be no reprisals. These were the 4 demands. The board decided to ignore them.
Hey, That's not right. Only one way. Hold it for. Until she resigns.
Spillman said today the time hasn't arrived yet for a deaf person to function in the hearing world. No, wait a minute. Now is the time for us to have a deaf president.
We just met with the board, and they have refused to meet our demands. So shall we leave?
The Gallaudet community calls for an end to this plantation mentality.
Well, I think that if we choose this sir, because she knows our language and has that experience.
Get the right information. Know what's going on.
We don't want the university to open. We want a deaf president first. Deaf president now.
This rally happens only once in a lifetime. We should stay here during the spring break. I think it's too important. We should stay.
All that I want to know is what's going to happen exactly. Before you do anything, if you don't tell us, if anything happens and people are hurt, something's going to happen. Something's going to hurt.
We do not make any deals with the police or the university until they make a deal with us.
The board is behind me, and as any board of trustees in any university, it is simply it is the role of the board of trustees to select a president. They have done that. It is the role of the board of trustees to remove a president. They have not done that.
What are you going to tomorrow morning?
I think it's time to enter into a meaningful dialogue with the new 7th president of Gallaudet.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
Why not now? Why not now? Look at me. Look at me.
I'm having a very
No, that's old news. I'm tired of that statement. One day, again and again, someday a deaf person. We've got to break this cycle.
We were impressed with Zinser. She seemed like a nice woman. I thought she'd be more aggressive, come in, sit down, and announce that she is the president.
But she was nice, very concerned, very kind and sincere. So we were able to get along and talk with her, but we were firm and straight with her. We did not get nasty, we just said what we had to say. She seemed to understand, and she wanted to work with us and try to work it out. She agreed to our demand of a board majority and with our last demand, but she wouldn't resign and wouldn't let Spillman resign. She wanted to learn, and she thought that she recognized our need to improve Gallaudet as a role model for all of the deaf community, for deaf schools all over the world. But that wasn't enough. Gallaudet as an institution really cannot represent us when our president is not deaf. With a deaf president running the institution, then Gallaudet could represent us to the world.
So now the interpreter will have to leave, but I will finish this movie today. But if you have any questions before they leave, do you have anything while they're here? No?
What are we supposed to do with some flyers for the extra credit?
So if you go and observe, and then type a paper about what you thought, your reactions, and then I'll give you the extra credit for it. Okay, do you have anything about this? Okay.